Hi, Ruth.
Good morning, Louise. So good to see you.
Good to see you too. We're going to have a conversation today about the Racial Equity Committee.
Wonderful. I'm very excited to have that conversation and really look at the work our agency has done in this area over the last year.
It's so hard to believe that we started that work then, back when, right after George Floyd was killed. And we had a very powerful statement that came out from the agency for the very first time,
Right.
really talking about social injustice. And then from there to have that really beautiful town hall.
hmm Yes, it was fantastic to see so many staff come together and share their experiences and just be so open and vulnerable with each other. From that conversation, we then began the board staff ad hoc committee on racial equity as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that got started?
Well, it was really interesting because the agency put out a letter to the community about Juneteenth, right? And how we were really going to start that fight, really, to reach racial equity. And one of the board members said, "Okay, so it's okay to talk about it. What we're going to do about it?" And so our chair, Hal Katz, appointed the board staff ad hoc committee on racial equity. And that's when we began our work. The other thing that we did that I thought was really good is that we started looking at GARE, the Government Alliance on Racial Equity, and looked at the tools and best practices that they offered. And we decided we were going to actually apply as a member so that we could continue to use those resources. Also, our chair of that committee, Emmett Hayes, introduced the agency to the PBS series called Race, the illusion of race, and started to encourage us to really take a look at that and review it so that we could all be sort of on the same page educationally.
Yeah, that's been a great series. And I know we are having our staff review that series as well. The ad hoc committee adopted were the Courageous Conversations Protocol, which I think is really exciting because it also sets a groundwork for these conversations around race, which can be difficult and challenging. And it's good to have, I think, a set of expectations when we come into the room to be present and to speak our truth and to understand that these are not quick, easy fixes, that it will take some time. But I think that's been a great thing that the committee has adopted.
Well, I mean, it didn't just come naturally, Ruth. You introduced it to the committee. And what was great about that is that we have such a hierarchical structure that by introducing the courageous conversations, we start out with an equity framework.
Mhm.
Everybody has the same power within the
Right.
committee, and you brought that to the committee. And it really changed the dynamics in terms of that discussion. And I'm hoping that it's also going to help our staff have these conversations as well. I think the other thing the agency did was to revise its strategic plan, right? Because that's the other thing that came along with this was an FY21 revision that
Mhm.
really explicitly said we're going to work on making integral care a more equitable place.
Exactly, exactly. And that is very powerful for our staff and for our consumers.
I think that so much of what we started with is really giving a breath of fresh air to staff and the community that have, felt like maybe they're on the margins to really have an authentic voice and experience in terms of their relationship with integral care. And I'm really excited about that for us to be learning more together on this journey. And what about you, Ruth? What are you excited about?
I just really feel like my excitement echoes that. It's as I've been just reflecting on this work, and where I think we'll ultimately end up is that our staff, come to the job every day and feel as though they can be themselves and feel as though their voice is heard, their opinions are welcomed, they can be authentic, and and that our clients have the same experience, that you can walk into any clinic with an integral care and you feel your truth will be heard, that you are accepted and welcomed and receive the best care. And that's I think for all of us a journey to get to that place. And so it's so much growth, it's so much learning, and it's change. And I think change can be challenging, but that's also what does make it exciting, is just seeing all of us come together to embark on this journey of healthy living for everyone when we when we
Right.
reach that space, right?
I think the other thing too is that it gives us an opportunity, as you said, to learn and to grow together. But just as important, to really examine ourselves, right?
Hmm.
To really look at where are the places that we have gaps, where are the places where we're blind.
Hmm.
Um, how do we invite the community in and really engage the community in making integral care even a better place to work
Hmm.
and to serve the clients. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes, I agree. That is, I think, a beautiful way to end our conversation, Louise.
It was so great talking to you, Ruth.